Hi everyone, welcome back. So today we are going to see how we can develop a REST API using Fast API. So this time we are not going to use Flask and we will see how much easy it is to build an API using Fast API instead of Flask. And let's start with our model. Firstly, we need to define a student in our API and that's going to be very easy with Fast API. So what we have done here, so from pydantic, we have imported our base model and email string. So what is pydantic? Pydantic is like a type checking library for Python because Python is usually uh, loosely typed language. So here what we have done, we have defined a class with name student where name it will contain name, age, course, and email with the respective data types. And then we have database.py. So this file will establish the connection with the database. So it is very similar to the previous example we have done. And in the similar fashion we are doing here. So we are importing Mongo client for PyMonk, and then we are importing OS module also here, importing .env to load our environment variables in the file. So firstly, what we have done, we have loaded our environment variables from env file by running this line of code, which will be load.env. Then we have uh, initialized our Mongo URI and also database name. And we have loaded these environment variables from .env file. Then we have also initialized the client by using our Mongo client, and then also our database name, and uh, also initialize the collection with name of students, which is pretty similar to the previous example we have done using Flask. So the main difference comes when we are initializing our routes and developing our entry point and main file everything. So because it will be done using Fast API and not Flask this time. So beginning from this file, so what we have done, so we have imported Fast API from Fast API and also an HTTP exception for the case where we got some issue uh, with our endpoint and not able to find anything, so we can return an error. So we have imported student from our models file, then a collection from our database, and also imported object ID from basin so that we can have that default ID assigned by the MongoDB in our databases. So in by doing this line, we have initialized our fast application. Then going here, so this will become very easy if we are doing it with Fast API. So what we are doing when we are using Flask here, so firstly we need to define our blueprint, and then using that blueprint we need to assign routes. So but in that case we are directly going to use a concept of Python, which is decorators, and by using decorators we can directly assign our routes to our function or connect our routes to our functions, which we're going to define for different operations. So our first route is to get or fetch all the students. So here app at the rate get, and on the items endpoint, I'm going to serve all the students, which is a pretty simple logic. And then in the second route, what I have done, I have written this route and function to extract or read data using the ID. So yes, here what I am doing, I am like grabbing all the collection and matching just the ID of. If I am able to match an ID, I'm going to return that item. And in case where I'm not able to find that ID in our collection, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to return an error with the message where item not found and status code is going to be 404. And then after that, we have defined a route where to post or add a new student in our database. So here also we are using decorators, and then I have provided the route. In the similar fashion, I have written the logic for the patch, so update to update, and also for delete. So logic will remain a little bit same with our case in Flask, but here what we have done, we are able to add an type checking in the function itself, that item ID will be a string, and here item ID will be also be a string, and item is going to be student, which we defined in our models. So, so the API which is developed using Fast API, we're going to run that API using our another package which is Unicorn. So if we want to run this API, we're going to do Unicorn main dot py, and then we want to like reload every changes in our API. So we're going to mention // reload after this command and going to hit enter button here. So basically, okay, so unicorn main dot app, sorry. So going to hit enter button. So we can see here that app is serving on this local host. So I will go to my Chrome browser and try to reload this. So here we have 5 students in our API right now. So let us check if our every route is working fine or not. So firstly, I'm going to add a student. So it will be post method and going to be this, and I'm going to add this Emily Davis, a new student with age 14, so we can see that we don't have Emily Davis here. So I'm going to send this request, and we can see that this student got added to our students collection, and then I will grab the student's ID, and firstly I'm going to fetch all the students. So see if we able to find this in all students. Yeah, we got Emily Davis, and now I'm going to find it using ID. Yes, we able to find this by ID also, the same student Emily Davis. And let's try to like update it the student, and we're going to use patch here. So and now I'm going to update this uh, example to Gmail. So I'm going to send this request. Yes, so item updated successfully, and now we will see if we able to update this thing. And yeah, so we can see that email got updated here. And let's also try to delete this item. So yes, message we got item deleted successfully, and see if we able to get this item. So item not find 404 status code. So let's try to see if we able to find this item in our all students. So C John Day. So yeah, so Emily Davis got deleted from here, and that's all the CRUD operations we can perform using Fast API. But yeah, Fast API, remember, Flask works also fine, but Fast API is performant. You don't need to care much about the type checking and things. And it becomes very easy to develop REST APIs using Fast API. You can see we need to write so much less code and need to structure our project little simpler. And for the instance that I can show you that in this case, we are not using our local host, but instead of local host, I am using MongoDB Atlas, which is our cloud database. Okay, so that's all from my end on Fast API. So I have like just cover these everything in fast forward speed, because we have already learned everything regarding this. So I'm just showing you that how we can develop the same thing which we developed earlier using Flask, but this time we are doing it with Fast API. So thank you so much.